Live from Inverness, Florida. This is episode 22 of our nightly Monday night program where we try to convince Americans to get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Episode 22 starts right now. I don't own a gun shop. I lead a movement.
Andy Hallinan.
Andrew Hallinan, the owner of that Florida gun supply store.
It's not just about guns for us. It's about life and liberty.
The solution to violent crime is for good guys like you and I to unite, to get armed, get trained, and carry daily.
This guy's educated. He's an educated guy. He's speaking the truth. Took so much weight off my shoulders.
We're the kind of patriots you've always wanted to be. Join us. Welcome to the Monday night broadcast at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm Andy Hallinan with Florida Gun Supply, and this entire broadcast, this entire episode is dedicated to help Americans get armed, get trained, and carry daily. We believe that that is the only solution to violent crime because at the end of the day, we can delete any sort of law that allows the good guys like you and I to have guns, but at the end of the day, it is only the good guys that have guns if you outlaw guns. So our program is designed to help you interact, engage, ask questions, and voice your opinion in a way that we can connect with other like-minded American patriots from across the country. Now, in connecting with other like-minded American patriots, there are always those who will not like us, always those who will not appreciate the words that we have to say, and always there will be the people that try to damage us and harm us. And YouTube has taken the lead in that this week. Our YouTube page, our YouTube channel used to have over 50,000 subscribers, over 500,000 video views every month. That combined with our Facebook page, we had over 1 million views a month on all of our videos across social media. It was a very strong way to impact, to communicate and educate this country and to unite America for good. We believe that all human life is equally valuable. We denounce racism of any way, shape, or form. We denounce any sort of properties that make somebody's life less valuable. Now, for some reason, YouTube believed that we were hate speech, and they decided to completely terminate our account without warning and delete all of our YouTube videos. If that makes you angry across social media, hit the anger button right now on Facebook. I'm happy to say that we are back on a new YouTube channel that has 1,196 subscribers to date. Please see the Facebook page after tonight's broadcast to get subscribed on YouTube. We need to make sure that we're building an audience on both platforms in case Facebook decides to shut us off, YouTube decides to shut us off, that we are not silenced and we can still make an impact on this country. Of course, on everybody's mind right now, and Lucinda from Homosassa, good to see you. Jim says, here comes the next gun grab. Bill says, evening, Patriots. Rick says, Rick matching. And Grandpa Terry out in Arizona says, hey, Andy shared the post out. Appreciate that. Rick Bastion, good to see you as well. Charity, great to see you. Listen, on everybody's mind is Las Vegas, and that's on Florida Gun Supply's mind. It's been on our mind all day as well. I want to share with you a quick video that I made just to make sure that people understood what was happening. Take a look.
We experienced an active shooter situation approximately 10:08 p.m. tonight.
Guys, I want you to join with me with a 15-second moment of silence. While we do, I want everybody to hit the hearts button on Facebook and social media while we have a 15-second moment of silence for the victims of this horrible event. Well, guys, thanks for joining me. The video that I created earlier today and published about Las Vegas has been received with mixed reviews. It has hundreds of shares all across social media, the video that you just watched, but unfortunately, I'm getting a lot of backlash. A lot of people who are saying that we should not have published a video the day after this shooting because we're fear-mongering people. We're using this event to capitalize and make money. Guys, I'm here to tell you that we are part of a movement across this country of people who have the solution to violent crime like this. The solution is for good guys like you and I to take a stand, to stop allowing criminals in our homes and in our businesses, to unite together, to get armed, get trained, and carry daily. And that is the only solution to violent crime. Now, I don't think that a concealed carrier having a handgun in the midst of this concert would have been able to save the day. The shot would have been much too difficult. Other people could be in danger. It would be useless for a handgun down at ground zero. But imagine that we trained enough people that a person on their floor below, on the same floor or the floor above, floor 32 in Mandalay Bay, had a concealed carry permit, had a firearm that was reliable, had a buddy with them that also had the same and had the training needed to stop that threat. They could have breached that door and stopped this from happening long before law enforcement arrived. There was over 10 minutes of active shooting. Over 10 minutes of active shooting into a group of people. 22,000 people were gathered for this concert, and the gunman had dozens of rifles, thousands of rounds, and every opportunity to create chaos. Charity says, amen, Andy. Trish says, I'm armed. Tony says, neighbors at the hotel could have intervened. And Bill says, there's a resolution coming up in the Florida legislature to require trigger locks on all guns, even when carrying. Most ridiculous proposal I've ever heard. Lucinda says, what goes through people's head that makes them want to kill innocent people? That is the big question today. I want you to take a look at a interview with the brother of the shooter. Take a look.
Our condolences to everyone. We just don't understand. It's like I said, an asteroid just fell out of the sky.
This guy, I don't think, is faking. This guy has no idea why his brother did what he did. He had no inkling that his brother was going to do anything. Take a look.
And we have no reason, rhyme, rationale, excuse. There's just nothing.
When was the last
There's
time
nothing.
you had talked to your brother?
He texted me to make sure my mom was okay after the hurricane. We didn't have power for 5 days. I mean,
this is just a normal family checking in after a hurricane. Hello, Lou from Seminole, and we've got Dothan, Alabama. Kelly, good to see you too. Guys, it is just a normal family that this happened to. The normal family, and this guy just goes off the hook and starts killing people. Take a look.
there's nothing. I mean, the last time she talked to him, no indication of anything. I mean, nothing.
No indication of anything. This, to all people, was a normal guy. And so the question is, on all of our minds, we have quite a few questions about this event, quite a few. The first one is why? Why did he do this? What's his motive? Well, I'll tell you right now that according to Reuters, the Islamic State claims that the Las Vegas shooter was a recent convert to Islam and was shooting because he was a soldier of ISIS. Now, the FBI outright, hours after this incident, outright claims that there is no ties or links or whatsoever to any sort of extremist ideology of any way, shape, or form, which I find interesting. Guys, I want you to ponder on the question I'm going to ask you. The FBI comes out just hours after 22,000 people are shot at, 500 people injured, 58 killed, and says there is definitely no evidence that ties this guy to ISIS. And yet, a year after the bogus claims about Donald Trump being tied to Russia and zero evidence being found, we still can't make the claim that Donald Trump is not connected to Russia? It is such hypocrisy that we are facing an FBI saying there's no connection right off the bat, and yet the same cannot be said about Donald Trump after a year of zero evidence. Jessica from Homosassa, good to see you. Bob says Antifa claimed him too. Oscar says no Carissa Las Vegas. And Charles says even in a world without guns, there would still be hate and murder. Completely agreed. If these people did not have firearms, they would use their vehicles. So let's look into this whole ISIS claim of responsibility. By the way, guys, Antifa claimed responsibility not for the man, but for the woman that was involved here. They didn't claim responsibility for the guy. They claimed responsibility for his girlfriend, who the FBI does not believe is involved in this in any way. But let's take a look. So I wanted to find out, is it possible that ISIS is telling the truth, or is that completely BS? So I pulled up a report from NPR, the National Public Radio, a very liberal organization that is dedicated to, journalism, so-called, and things like that. Now, they've got a pretty good track record of being unbiased. I do have to give them that, much better than CNN. But this report was published in May of 2017. So completely way before this. And the question is, what does it mean when ISIS claims responsibility for an attack? And if you read this article, it says things like, how does the Islamic State make the claims? But has ISIS ever claimed responsibility for attacks that turned out to be totally unrelated? And Susan Katz, who follows the group's social media obsessively with a critical eye, says, despite the fact that they're a terrorist organization, they want to provide their followers and supporters with authentic information. It says that she cannot think of an example of an outright false claim by ISIS in the United States or Western Europe. There are plenty of exaggerations on death tolls, for instance, but the statements should not be assumed to be untrue. For instance, ISIS did claim that they had an attack on a concert in Manchester. They didn't describe it properly and so on and so forth, but they were correct about that. So we are seeing reports of ISIS claiming responsibility, Antifa claiming some sort of thing, but we need to really understand the deeper picture. One of the things that we need to know is why this guy shot up people he did, but what we also need to know is how he attained the firearms that he did, because by all understandings, this was automatic gunfire. Now, I can't claim that it is automatic. It could have been consistent pulling. But take a look to the sound. This is a sound that I have isolated from one of the videos from one of the active participants. Take a listen. I want you to listen to this clearly. I'm going to play that again. Take a listen. So when I actually was taking a look and investigating, I want to know what kind of guns these are. And so what I did was I took that sound and I slowed it way down with some of my video editing tools. And I counted each individual sound. I counted every single gunshot he fired. And in the first line of gunshots, he fired exactly 47 rounds. He fired exactly 47 rounds. Pop quiz, guys, while I'm trying to find the picture here. Who knows what gun comes with a 47-round capacity? Write that in the comments below. What gun do you think comes with a 47-round capacity or can easily have a 47-round capacity? I'm trying to look for the actual image. I may not be able to find it of what I was looking at, but let me look at it once more. 47. Taking a look here. Yep, I've got it right here. I'm going to take a quick screenshot of it and show you on here. People are commenting AK-47, AK-47, AK, I think. AK-47, AK-47. See a lot of AK-47s. All right, and let's see if we can't save this and paste it in. Everybody is saying AK-47. Let's go on to scene 17. I'm going to paste the magazine that I found when I just did a quick Google search of how many rounds there were. This is an AK-47 magazine on sale at Sportsman's Guide. I just pulled this up as we were talking. And yes, it is a 47-round magazine on an AK-47. John Price says not necessarily an AK-47. Adam says lots of mag choices out there. Doug says contest closed for free gun. Yep, we've got another free gun going. Alan says SKS. John Price says, could be a drung mag. And Connie says, hey, Andy, watching you from Brooksville, Florida. This is why I want to get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Now, Bill says, Surefire makes a 60-round magazine for an AR. So this is what we're seeing. We're seeing a 47. The only gun that I could find easily, quickly, that has a normal 47-round magazine was the AK-47. But it sounded like automatic machine gun fire. It sounded very consistent, too consistent, in my opinion, to be a bump fire stock, which is a device on the back of the gun that allows you to fire more rapidly because the gun's bouncing back and forth against your fingers and is legal per the ATF standard. Now, I did a quick Google search for AK-47 fully automatic, and for those of you who don't know, in order to get a fully automatic firearm in the United States of America, it must be built, it must be made before 1987, because in 1987 there was the National Firearms Act that outlawed any new manufacture of machine guns, any gun that fires more than one round with one pull of the trigger. So when you think about it, the supply has remained the same for the last 30 years, but the demand has increased with all sorts of new people in the market wanting these guns. What happens when the demand stays the same, or when demand rises but the supply stays the same, is that the price dramatically increases. An AK-47 machine gun retails for about $30,000. You got $30,000 in an 8-month waiting list, and you can have a pre-ban AK-47 capable of firing more than one round with one pull of the trigger for 30 grand. This guy was said to have 10 rifles in his hotel room. Those are huge questions. Where did he get these guns? What were these guns? Who supplied the firearms and the ammunition for this attack? This man had no history of firearms. This man had no history of violence. This man had no history of doing what he was doing, and no red flags indicate that this was coming. Where did he get these guns? Who paid for them? Who bought them? How did he get them? When we find out the answer to those questions, we may be closer to finding out why. A very, very interesting conversation, a very, very interesting subject that left 58 people dead, 515 as of the most recent estimates injured. This is absolutely a mystery. But again, it is up to the biased media. To 12 hours after the investigation of Stephen Paddock, the FBI says there's no evidence of ISIS, and yet after a year and zero evidence against Donald Trump, we're still talking about ties between him and Russia. Something is amiss. Something is odd, and we need to get to the bottom of that. Mike Davis and Tony says, 10 in the room, 8 at home. Charity says, I bet it was a setup. I don't understand what it could possibly be at this point. I mean, could it be Antifa trying to cause a civil war or run on guns? I mean, maybe. Could it be ISIS trying to install, Sharia law across the land? Maybe. Could it be a left-wing or a right-wing nut job? We have no idea. But the question is, where did he get the $30,000 AK-47 that it would have required to make this sound right here? If somebody's handing him, I mean, yes. And one of the things that Carissa just mentioned is, can you alter a gun to make it operate that? Can you alter an AK-47 to make it operate like that? The answer is yes. You can buy a cheap part to put it in there and have a gunsmith do it, but it requires an actual gunsmith to do that. And every gunsmith I've ever met, every gunsmith I've ever known, every gunsmith I've ever dealt with would never even think about having the parts in the same room. It's called constructive intent, and it is a 5-year in jail felony for the smith and for the user. It is not something that law-abiding citizens mess with, and to all looks, Stephen Paddock was a law-abiding citizen up until yesterday. This is the biggest mystery in the gun world that has ever faced the gun world. that we've ever seen. Bill says, Desert Fox Sale, he's sending a link. Mike Davis says, I do not believe that he went out and purchased all these firearms at one time. 62 years old, he was a collector of long guns for sure. Bill says he was a millionaire, and a gun shop in Las Vegas came forward saying that had sold him the guns, and he passed all the requirements. Dave says AR with modified hammer. Bill, I'd like a link to that story. I'd love to talk about that. Jeremy says there are some videos that sound like he was using an Echo trigger. That may be possible. I don't know if that's possible in AK-47, though. Mike Davis says Parallax used to sell the plans for auto, very simple to create and install. Devin says he's a millionaire. Money talks. Yes, but what does a millionaire need? Why does a millionaire go out and cause this sort of tragedy? Why does this happen? We need to get at the bottom of all of these questions. What I will tell you is that there is a divide in this country. Thumbs up if you agree. There is a divide in this country greater than any other divide we have ever seen since the Civil War. We have very much the North and the South, very much conservatives versus liberals, very much the right versus the left in this country in ways that we've never seen in a generation, and it is causing chaos. Could this be associated with what's happening with the NFL? Could this be associated with what's happening with the election and Donald Trump? Yes, it could. Because think about it for a second. The concert that was attacked wasn't a rap concert. It wasn't a concert full of people that follow a liberal ideology. It was a country concert full of conservative Americans who believe in standing for the American flag and believe in conservative values like gun ownership. Note that the concert the people that were performing were not targets at this event. If they were, they would have been killed instantly. They were not targets because they probably don't follow a conservative value as much as the concert attendees. Were the attendees of this particular concert chosen for a reason? I would have to say absolutely yes. This was pre-planned. This was, thought out. This was methodical. This was a plan of action. Miss Kingery says, this is Dustin, he's in touch. Sounds like ISIS. Mike Davis says, I used to hear that auto sounds every day in Iraq and Afghanistan, one that you will never forget. Brian Sims says, now the NFL has a reason to kneel. Tony says, we're headed to another civil war. And Kate Paris says, and now 59, not 58, 59 are dead. This is absolutely insane and absolutely a mystery. Absolutely a mystery. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is this false flag idea. A lot of people on Facebook and social media, whenever an attack like this, especially from Sandy Hook, 9/11, they call this a false flag. They say the CIA is doing this stuff. It's not really happening. The CIA is doing it to go after guns. And it's just such, for better lack of words, BS. The CIA did not do this. This is not some product of some false flag BS. This is not the product of some conspiracy going on. This is not something that is more than what we think it is. This is a bad guy with a gun, many guns. We don't know who he's connected to, don't know where he got the guns. We need to chase down those answers, but this is not some CIA-involved conspiracy to kill a bunch of people and take your guns. That's not what this is. If you agree with me, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, get out of this video because this group is not for you. We are not a group of conspiracy theorists that believe that the CIA is actively killing Americans. We are not a group that believes in all sorts of conspiracy theories. I don't condone it. I don't accept it. And I won't allow it in this group because what happened is a bad guy with a gun. And the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun isn't some conspiracy theorist. It's a good guy like you and I going out, getting armed, getting trained, and carrying every single day. Devin says, didn't they say the world was supposed to end this past weekend? That happens a lot. Bruce says, what has the FBI said about the ammo he used? Should be lots of ammo casings laying around. Tim Alexander says, what do you think of California shooting at a college? I haven't heard. I've been following this Vegas stuff. John Price says, Dan, AR platform. I heard AKs in Iraq and Afghanistan. And Daniel says, I don't think that sounds like an AR or an AK. And 10 guns, not all loaded and ready to go. No other shooters found. Nothing makes sense in this. Bridge says he was a sick son of a bitch. He absolutely was. So, where did he come from? What is he doing? We still don't have answers at all. But I will tell you that the divide in this country is great, and we need to be doing what it takes to unite this country. Unite the North and the South. Unite The people who have a liberal agenda and the people on the right side, we need unity in this country, not division. We need forgiveness in this country, not hate and anger. We need to be the ones that step forward, that take the bull by the horns and demonstrate those values and integrity, because the rest of the world is watching. Take a look at something that happened to me just today. I had a lady today, Elizabeth Craig, on Facebook. She says, so I've been considering taking the concealed carry class here, and I'd really like to, because the place I'm already signed up with keeps calling and canceling week after week. But I've seen the things that you sell in your store, like Liberal Tears gun oil, and read some posts, and I wonder, if I promise not to make any political comments in the class, is it possible for a liberal Democrat gun owner like me to get treated well here? Hit the thumbs up button if you think that's the coolest thing you've ever seen. I think that's the coolest thing, that a liberal Democrat gun owner would be willing to participate in Florida Gun Supply and get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Just because they don't believe in who we wanted for the president doesn't mean that we can't arm and train them. So I responded a very simple response. Take a look. My answer says, sure, but if you don't stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance, you'll be asked to leave. And if you agree with that, hit the thumbs up button left and right, because I support not arming and training people that I don't philosophically and fundamentally agree are in love with this country and the patriotism that you and I display across the country. So if you believe that it's right for Florida Gun Supply to kick people out for not standing for the Pledge of Allegiance, hit the thumbs up button right now, because that is exactly what we do. It's exactly what we have done, and it is exactly what we will do in the future. We will refuse service to anybody that refuses to stand for the great Pledge of Allegiance. That's what we do before every class, before every activity, before everything we do. We stand for the pledge, and if you don't participate in the Pledge of Allegiance with us, you will not participate in the event. You will be asked to leave. Rex says, I've watched the events unfold all night, multiple TVs and channels, and listed 3 police scanners from Las Vegas simultaneously until 9 a.m. Not once did I see or hear of someone protesting the police. No, exactly right. So then, I thought my comment with this, Elizabeth was good until she came back with this. She says, why would you even say that? I've said the Pledge of Allegiance my whole life. Just because I'm a Democrat doesn't mean I'm not loyal to my country. My response, well, looks like you're already offended. Probably not the place for you. I honestly believe that if she is offended by that comment, instead of demonstrating unity and instead of demonstrating a like-minded willingness to stand for the pledge, she decided to get angry. Of course, this is not the place for her, because she won't last the entire class. If you support that, again, hit the thumbs up button, because although we do open our doors to every walk of life, to every individual that believes in life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness the way that we do, and to every person that values human life the way that we value human life, unfortunately, sometimes it just ain't going to work out. Guys, I got to tell you, last week, we've got the shooting in Vegas, but last week there was a drive-by shooting here in Inverness. I'm going to show you the actual shooting.
Hi, guys. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply.
I'm going to fast forward to
a lot of controversy
here. It was caught on video camera. You can see
even
this
more
drive-by
right here,
shooting.
just to show you both trucks.
Applebee's in Inverness.
Truck number 1 is coming around the corner. I'm not
entirely
entirely sure if that one's shooting as well or not.
Truck number 2, you can see the muzzle
but take
flashes.
a look at truck number 2. I'm slowing it down literally frame by frame.
Bang,
there
bang,
you see
bang,
just
right
a
here in our
flash
bang, bang,
coming
bang, right there.
just to show
Take a
you
look
both
one more time.
trucks. Truck number 1 is coming around the corner. I'm not entirely sure if that one's shooting as well or not, but take a look at truck number 2. I'm slowing it down literally frame by frame. There you see just a flash.
You see that muzzle flash going by. And the cops repeatedly said, this is an isolated incident. This is an isolated incident. Like that matters. We don't know what an isolated incident means. People are saying that about Las Vegas as well. What does isolated incident mean? This cannot possibly be isolated. Take a look at what's happening in Houston.
Living too fast, dropping the dick in the stack. Got too far, hold this D on me. Draw at the top, when it's cold, but you feel the heat.
This is a random wannabe gangster driving down the streets in Houston, shooting a 9mm into random houses. There are more videos than this. I wasn't able to download them, but this is happening in Houston just 19 hours from when I downloaded this video. This is absolutely ludicrous. There are people out there who are taking firearms, and they are slaughtering hundreds of people. They are taking firearms and randomly shooting into homes, and yet There are people that are watching this video, people that are connected to Florida Gun Supply, people that are connected to our movement in Central Florida that still don't have their license to carry, to stop this from happening in our community. There are people out there who still don't have access to a firearm because they can't afford it. That's why we have our financing program, by the way, not to try to make money out of this thing, but we have a financing program for the people that can't afford it. It doesn't do a credit check, so what you've done in the past doesn't matter. What you're doing today does. And if that sounds good to you, hit the thumbs up button right now, because we want to make sure that every American who's legally, mentally, and physically able can buy a gun, learn the right way to use it, and carry it as often as they can. Teresa says, I recommend taking Andy's class. It's very informative, interactive, and you will be glad you did. Devin says, Andy, I served for 20 years. Thank you for your service, Devin. The asshats who called me the N-word, I served for those who want to kneel. I serve those who want to wear the flag in its entire, which is against the U.S. flag code. I agree. It is absolutely the right of those NFL players to kneel at the games. It is absolutely their right. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sell them a gun. That doesn't mean that I'm going to serve them. That doesn't mean that it's what I have to do. That doesn't mean that we have to support the NFL. That's why we're having our Shoot Then Burn competition, which is going to be at the Florida Gun Supply Facebook page. You're going to take a look at it. It is on October 15th, starting, I believe, at 4 o'clock. I forget the exact time. But we're going to actually come together, shoot at the NFL products, and then burn the heck out of it as our way of demonstrating anger. It is our right to do it, just like it's their right to kneel, but that doesn't mean that we have to be there with them. Guys, I want you to take a look at something that I feel like it might be of value to you in case we ever find a random shooter, an active shooter, or a terrorist in our midst. Take a look. The goal of bowling pin shooting is to create a fun, competitive, and practical shooting experience that will sharpen your handgun skills under pressure. But everybody can expect an event that will improve your skills in the company of fellow shooters who are supportive. We want you to find out more at www.shootingteams.com. Guys, I want you to go to www.shootingteams.com and sign up for our bowling pin shoot notifications. It's very important that we come out together this Saturday. We've got an all-new layout. If you've been thinking about doing our bowling pin shoots in the past, this is the weekend for it because we have a ton of new things, a ton of new activities. This is the weekend to be out there on Saturday, this Saturday, October 7th at 9 a.m. Do not miss it because it's not enough just to have a carry permit. You must get out and use your gun. And when you're in competition and you're racing against the clock, against the shooter next to you, you're learning the physical skills and the emotional sensitivity because you're nervous while people are watching you and watching what you're doing to fight through those sensations and have the best possible outcome. Tracy says you need to expand into Wisconsin. Tracy, find a store for me. I'll take care of it. Mike Matovic says I'm not popular right now, but I love my country. I stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. And Kevin Greenleaf, good to see you as well. Thanks for coming. Now, Bill posted a link to an article about the Nevada shooters, saying that the shooters actually passed a background check. That's great. I'm glad they passed a background check. But gun store owners like I do and other people have a responsibility to learn who they're selling guns to. I don't sell a gun to anybody that makes me suspicious for any reason. I've called the ATF and asked them to look through the families of people that I know and people that I've met in the past just to make sure I'm 100% correct. I have done what it takes to deny firearm sales to people every single week. If they raise a red flag in any way, shape, or form, you can better believe that I am not going to sell them any sort of firearm from a 2-shot Derringer to a 30-round capacity AR-15. And if you support gun store owners like me getting together and building systems where we do not serve people that we do not trust, hit the thumbs up button right now because that is the front lines, in my opinion, of prevention of accidents. Omar Mateen went to 3 different gun stores that denied him, and he was reported to the ATF and FBI before Orlando even happened, before he took 49 people's lives at the Orlando nightclub, the Pulse nightclub. He was reported to the ATF and the FBI. I am very, very frustrated about what is going on in this country. Take a look at what Hillary Clinton had to say today. She says, our grief isn't enough. We can stand and must put politics aside, stand up to the NRA, and work together and try to stop this from happening again. Hillary, you are injecting politics into this. You are injecting it by saying stand up to the NRA. That is inherently injecting gun control politics into this. Hit the anger button right now if you're angry at Hillary Clinton for saying this. Take a look again. I cannot believe that she is so stupid to say this. Our grief is not enough. We can and must put politics aside, stand up to the NRA, and work together to try to stop this from happening again. Put politics aside. The tweet before that, she said the crowd fled at the sound of gunshots, all dramatic like. Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, which the NRA wants to make easier to get. You know what, Hillary? The NRA needs to completely silence you and put a muzzle on you. A silencer would have done nothing in this scenario. People had echoes all around them. They had no idea where the gunfire was coming until it was too late. A silencer would not have killed more people. Hillary Clinton, you are injecting politics and stupidity all over this. And then she does say, Las Vegas, we're grieving with you, the victims, those who lost loved ones, the responders, and the affected in this cold-blooded murder. Hillary, you should have left it there. Very important that we come together and share a like-minded community. That's why we are building what we are building in this video. You're not just watching a video and commenting. John Price saying she just needs to go away. Chris saying Hillary the hypocrite. And Brett saying I'm always angry at Hillary. What we need to do is we need to come together and build unity. And we need to share products and services that work and things that don't work. One of the things that I was let down before the hurricane was the Wise Food Company, right? Their motto is Wise Quality Prepared Foods. And I wrote a Facebook post about an experience I had. I said, now that Irma's over, I must share. In the past, we've been a brand ambassador for Wise Food Storage. And what I mean by that is that I have created entire videos that are now deleted off YouTube, by the way, of me testing their product and eating it and demonstrating and telling you what I experienced. During Hurricane Matthew, I actually ate this exclusively to see what it was like to live off this. We were a brand ambassador telling people that this was good stuff. We trusted, endorsed, and sold their products with confidence, but never again. I reached out to them attempting to purchase an emergency order in plenty of time prior to Hurricane Irma hitting Florida, and they didn't even bother responding to my email. So with sadness, I've removed the Wise Food products from our website. We'll no longer recommend them. Please share to spread the word. Then get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Hit the thumbs up button if you support me sharing my experience with the Wise Food Company. Even though we sold them and we did it, we removed their products from the website. We're not going to make any money off their products because of this experience. Hit the thumbs up button if you support a business owner telling you the truth. We're not just out to make money. We want to make sure that you get well served. Now, the CEO of Wise Food Company, of course, reached out to us on Facebook to talk about the experience that we had. He assured us that this was a one-time incident because they were focused on the $1 million orders they were receiving from FEMA. Poor excuse to leave your small customers behind, by the way. And he decided to say, what can I do to make up for this? How about I send you some free stuff, Andy? You can put it right in your bug out kits. You can put it right in your bag, or you can sell it in your store and make money. And I said, no, if you're going to send me stuff, I'll give it away. I'll do a free giveaway on FloridaGunSupply.com's website for our customers. And they did send us 2 emergency food supplies. This has 84 rations, 84 servings. It says savory stroganoff, cheesy macaroni, all that good stuff. Emergency recommended, extended shelf life, just add boiling water. And they sent us 2 of these buckets as an apology. Just to let you know, I was about to buy 30 of these buckets in the emergency email that I sent, but these will be given away on the Florida Gun Supply website. Look for that link later on tonight. If you support us giving away these free products so that people can try them out, hit the thumbs up button, but we did want to come back and talk about that. So guys, a very interesting show tonight. Chris Taylor says only 2. Bob Long says, and I'm hungry too. Ramon says, send that to Puerto Rico. I will tell you that the last I heard, Puerto Rico received 10,000 shipments from Donald Trump of food and water. They're good on that so far. This would not really help. So guys, it's very interesting. We've got a lot of questions about this situation. We've got questions about where this man bought automatic machine guns. Did he wait his 8 months? Were they legal? Were they NFA certified? Where did he get this stuff? We need to understand what his motivation was. Is ISIS telling the truth? I hate ISIS. They're a terrorist organization, but according to NPR, they do not have a history of claiming false attacks besides one in Macedonia or the Philippines or something like that. Other than that, they do have a pretty good track record of what they do claim. The big question is here, what will the government do? Will the government make a run on automatic firearms that have never really been used in a crime in the first place? Will the government do a run on concealed carry permits? I don't know what's going to happen in the gun world, but I will tell you that it is disturbing what is happening in the situation. We are not hearing the entire story, and we won't for some time. The solution to violent crime, the solution to you and I taking steps to protect our families is for you and I to get armed, get trained, and carry daily. So if you do not have a concealed carry permit, take this as a fire under your behind to get into my concealed carry class or a class near you. We're offering them for free right now to get people trained or get to a class near you. Jim says, gun grab, watch. Dennis says, Brooksville here. Patrick says, checking in. Tony says he didn't. They were supplied to him. Gwen says, amen. Guys, this is the time of the video where we are going to have your questions come. While we're waiting on questions, I'm going to go ahead and replay our Las Vegas video. Take a look.
We experienced an active shooter situation approximately 10:08 p.m. tonight.
I just cannot get over this gunfire. James says, any word on national reciprocity? No word on that. Take a listen to this gunfire again. I mean, it is just a complete mystery to me. Anybody that has a guess at home, I'm going to play it one more time. Anybody that has a guess at home, I want you to guess what you think it is. I mean, my guess is just because of the rounds that I counted 47 rounds in each bout. I counted 47 rounds in each bout, and so I assume that it's an AK-47 with a 47 round. I mean, we're getting guesses from, sounds like a crank-operated gun. Mike Granger says, what religion was he? Do we know? Yes, we do know. Well, we know two things. Number one, ISIS, according to Reuters, claims that he converted to Islam 2 months ago. And his brother claims that he has no religion. Those are the two things that we know about the religion. Victor Smith says, I've taken Andy's class. It was great. Not only did I learn a lot, but got a free cookie as well. Kyle says, AK-47 extended mag. Al Perry says, sounds like an AK. Calvin says, is it an echo? Or at one point, does it sound like two at one time? No, it is definitely an echo. I replayed and played it at 10% the original speed and was actually able to listen to the sound. It is definitely an echo. Guys, I really appreciate you coming. Just one quick thing to note. I did have a situation today where somebody associated with Florida Gun Supply posted a very disgusting meme on social media citing what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas with a disgusting picture of one of the victims. I want to make it very clear that Florida Gun Supply values all human life equally, and that we are in no way associated with that meme in any way, shape, or form. And I do want to apologize to anybody that was offended or believed that this had something to do with Florida Gun Supply. No, of course it wouldn't, because Florida Gun Supply is designed to get Americans like you and I to spread the word all across this country, to start developing unity, to lead the way with integrity, forgiveness, and a passion for the next generation, a passion for truth, and uniting against the differences that we have. No, Florida Gun Supply is not about making a meme that would offend people. Usually, it is about creating systems to make this country a better, safer place to live. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply. I thank you so much for joining. I want you to share this video and then get armed, get trained, and carry daily. I wasn't really sure how to bring in the words "Long Live the Republic" at the end. You know. All right, we are muted. Not a bad show, right? Ended at 7:53. I didn't know how to work in Long Live the Republic. I did not know. Yeah, I did not know. I know, right? I feel like I should have definitely known. That was a good show. Talk to hot girls. Yeah, you can hit the hide button on that one, and don't tell Lindsay. Oh, we forgot to give away free T-shirts tonight. You know what? Let's give some T-shirts away to people that are still in this thing. Missy Mellon says not muted. Because Missy Mellon says not muted, I'm going to give her a free T-shirt. Missy Mellon, message us, and we'll give you a free T-shirt. No, we are definitely not muted. Missy Mellon, M-E-L-I-N. Send us a private message with your T-shirt size and your phone number, and we'll give you a free T-shirt. Heather Bedford, not muted, is what she says. Weird. I wonder if we can get Heather to send us a private message as well. Let's give her a free T-shirt.
Can we finally give John Price?
John Price, I feel like John Price deserves something. He gets.
He's been here for 22 episodes.
You know what I'll give John Price? I've got like a Post-it note.
Yeah,
I'll give John Price a Post-it note. Yeah, we're gonna give John Price a Post-it note. We'll write his name on it. That's right. Yeah. Good idea. I love it.
We can sign it.
I love it. John Price, send us a private message with your address, T-shirt size, and Post-it note color preference. We'll get you a free T-shirt. Charity says hi. Mark says I need a gun. How about a cig?
Me too.
Samantha Savorza. What kind of name is Savorza? How do you pronounce this? Look. Saforza.
I think her name sounds familiar. Can I say I think someone with that same last name has bought a gun from here?
Really?
Maybe.
Huh.
Or maybe she's stalking me and I keep
Interesting. Victor Smith says, what about the gun giveaway? Well, we're going to have to make an announcement of that. We were supposed to give a gun giveaway this week, but
we're supposed to do lots of things.
But that's what broke in the beginning was the gun giveaway portion. Because I was doing a screen share, and so what it was doing is it was taking what we were saying and it was plugging it into the live video, which was plugging it back in.
Yeah, hearing your voice that many times
it was horrible.
Really annoying.
Guys, I will post the winner of the free gun giveaway later on tonight. Richie White, let's give him a free shirt. All right, get armed, get trained, Carrie Daly. Open mic night. Hot mic is over. We're really out this time. It's Tracy Stefanski. That's a great name.
She sounds like a figure skater.
Tracy, give me the name of that store and I'll buy it. See ya.